All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rachwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. I'm your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson, Lord's will, to set a fire to the Lord's elect. See what's going on in the news. Let's see what's going on today, man. Matter of fact, I'm not getting a lot. I'm staying over there, man. Hey, it says European allies back Denmark over Trump's threat to annex Greenland. So the European allies are backing up Denmark. I did a video on this last night, but that just goes to show you he's not stopping in Venezuela. He's gonna keep going. You know, he's gonna try to take over everything. I was watching something. A brother posted it on. It said that the Rothschilds don't have a banking in Iran, Cuba, Venezuela, and North Korea. And then it took out a bunch of it scratched out a bunch of other countries like Syria, Iraq. Now they got that Rothschild banking system over there. So of course he's gonna go to war with the countries because he wants to take your shit, man. Establish his own currency. Take you down, man. That's all it's about. It's all about money, power. That's all it's about. Well, it's really all about prophecy. You see, it's about the Lord's will being done. He set this devil up to do just what he's doing so he can take him out in the last. And that's what we're witnessing. Well, let's see what his allies are saying. January 6th, 6 European allies have rallied to support Denmark following renewed insistence by the U.S. that it must have control over Greenland. He was saying that pretty much when he first came in. He was talking about Canada too. You know, this is your allies. Imagine telling your ally, I want to take over your country, man. I need it for strategic advantage over our enemies. Hold on, I thought I'm your ally. Why don't we just share our intelligence together so we can protect our common interests? It ain't about that. It ain't about that, man. He's showing you who's in power, man. It ain't gonna be no you on this side, I'm on that side. No, you're gonna agree 100% with what I'm doing. As a matter of fact, let me grab this precept. In Daniel 7, I think that's where it's at. Daniel 7, and it talks about him being more stout than his fellows. Where's that at? Daniel 7 and 20. It says, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. So it says, and of the 10 horns that were in his head. The 10 horns that were in his head is talking about the European nations. When you look into it, you know, brothers break it down, they go into the other vassal states of Rome. But those same powers are back today. And they're under the same beast. That same system that was set up back then is what we're seeing today. That same allegiance. Okay? And it says, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell. The other which came up is talking about America. Whom 3 fell is talking about how it came up out of the British, the French, and the Spanish, and that's why that's how America was created, through those different wars, through the French Revolutionary War, or the French Wars, the Indian Wars, the Revolutionary War. That's what America came out of. So the other 3 fell. Okay, and it says, even of that horn that had eyes, is talking about America. Its vision, it had that, he called it the manifest destiny, and go conquer this land and take everyone's resources. That's what Duck has right now. He got that same eye he had when he first came over here to America. He want to take down everybody. He'll take even down his other people. Because the Brits and the Americans, he came out of Britain. And he took their ass down. Okay? And he going to try to take their ass down again. Daniel 7 verse 20. In a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. So he's more stout. Meaning he's more proud than these other European nations. America's the most proud nation. Their president's the most proud out of all the so-called white powers that are out there. Okay? And he really ain't got nothing to really be proud about. He really don't got nothing to be proud about because, first of all, he don't give a fuck because he's old. He's an old-ass man. He don't got that much longer down here on the earth. The scriptures talk about having about 80 years, man. He's pushing that door, man. All the shit he was talking about, Joe Sleepy Biden, that nigga's falling asleep now. He's falling asleep because he can't keep up with all this bullshit the elites got him doing. Because he's a figurehead, man. He's a puppet. It's Amalek that really run the show, man. He's the one running all this shit. You can tell by where your money is going. That's where, if it's going to Argentina to a small hat, then that tells you a lot about who's running this place. If I'm having you send me money, man, what does that tell you? Yeah, I need $20 billion. Zelensky, small hat. I need 40 billion. You want me to keep it moving? Small hat. Netanyahu. Hey, I don't know what the hell he is, man. Maduro said he's not authentic. Okay? He called him a scoundrel. That's just funny as hell. And you gotta watch out for these videos now because now the AI is manipulating our words, man. So they talk about we calling on Yahuwah. We don't believe in Yahuwah and Yeshua. Okay, it's Yahweh and his son's name's Yahweh Shai. So they're gonna start taking away the names, so y'all ain't gonna be able to pray. So if y'all weren't listening, you're done. You're done, man. That's going into Amos the 8th chapter. Brothers just did a video in Canada. That devil's trying to take away biblical passages. You can't go out on the streets, and there ain't no one around me. I'm just all by myself. I'm all by myself, and he wants this to stop because this is how the Lord is being glorified. He don't want Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua to be glorified. He wants you calling on the so-called white man, Jesus Christ, like all the other rest of these heathen be doing. Okay? We ain't calling on the so-called white man anymore. The so-called white man, he's done, man. We ain't believing in his false-ass gods who lets the so-called white man feel like his sins are forgiven. Your sins are not forgiven, nigga. You about to get destroyed. You going into slavery. You're going to meet the real God, the true God of the Bible, man, the God of Israel. You're going to learn who the Israelites are real quick. It's not going to be, is he Israel? Is he, I don't know. It's going to be a complete separation between the nation of Israel and these heathen nations. He's going to make a difference. There's already a difference. You can't see it, but through the Spirit you can see it. Because who's out here prophesying? Who's out here mourning and crying to the Lord? It damn sure ain't you Christians. You guys are going to church, especially you Venezuelans. Y'all going in the church praying to the Lady of Guadalupe. So you guys are going to die. You guys are done. You happy? You happy that the so-called white man's coming to take over your town? You fucking out of your mind, man. And then you Venezuelans that were born up here, you ain't never been down there. So you're going to bring your westernized mindset down there and you're going to increase inflation over there. And a lot of the people over there, they're going to try to kill your ass, man. Just like they was trying to do to the Mexico. A lot of white people, they go to Mexico to retire now. They go there to get their health care. They get cheaper health care. You know, they go get their dental work over there now. Because it's better over there. He talking mad shit. They got a better economy than America, and that's supposed to be a worse country. It's supposed to be ran by a bunch of thugs and all of that. But Esau knows where to retire at. They're getting the hell up out of here. You're going to try to do that in Venezuela, and that's going to be your ass. Because the Lord The Lord ain't sending him over there for that. First of all, they're wicked over there too. That's when the Lord sends that sword. All those like temples, all those you worshiping false gods, and that's what the Lord does. He sends his sword. That's what Esau is. That's what the so-called white man is. He's a tool that the Lord uses to bring punishment upon the people. And he's punishing you. And when he goes over there and steals your resources, what do you think he's gonna treat you good? You didn't see what happened to America, how that got established? You think their goods were given to them, all these resources? The Native Americans live on not concentration camps, I forgot what you call them, reservations. They're on reservations and they're drinking themselves to death. Okay? They're being kidnapped at alarming rates. Unsolved murders. That's what's going on in their community. That's what's going to happen in your community. You're going to start listen, man, you don't want Esau to be running your country, man. You should have just went down with Maduro. Y'all should have just said, fuck it. We all going to grab guns. We all going to go to war. It seemed like he was trying to get y'all prepared for war. That's what it seemed like he was trying to do. But y'all ain't ready for the battle. You clapping your hands, you dropping your armor, you putting your sword down, and you're welcoming the enemy. And that's what y'all are doing spiritually. Okay, most importantly, because you believe in these false gods, you believe in the... Where's the Lady of Guadalupe in the Bible? What the hell are y'all doing in these churches? That's why those churches are going to get burnt down. You're going to get burnt up with it. That's Maduro's biggest mistake, letting those damn... He should have... But that wouldn't have been popular. You can't rule too hard. You can't rule your house too hard, man. According to because these people are of the world. So it's best that the Lord, I think the Lord gonna save Maduro, honestly. But you Venezuelans out there, I don't think nothing good coming to y'all, man. Y'all rejoicing and shit. It tells you in Deuteronomy 17, let's grab that. I remember that song, it said, I will vote for Donald Trump. Latino! Stupid asses. That's why your ass is gonna get destroyed. And that's what the fuck you get. Deuteronomy 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose, one from among thy brethren. Shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Okay, so you're not supposed to elect. That's what y'all want. Y'all want the heathen to rule over you. Just like during the time of the Maccabean period. As a matter of fact, let's go over there. Let's go over there, man. Some of y'all Israelites, I mean, this is the southern kingdom that was going through the Maccabean period, but it still applies today. What's that? First Maccabees. First Maccabees 1 and 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. And that's what y'all are suffering. So you think, let's go make a covenant with the heathen. That's why y'all going to the churches rejoicing, praying in wood, saying thank you. You say thank you to a God that this nigga killed your ass for you to support. White people don't have a God, man. We're their God. And they're going to see that in these last days. And look how they treated their lords, man. They treated their gods like shit. They started worshiping all these other gods. They got punishments to pay for that. And when the Lord gives us the spirit and the ability to punish their asses properly, they're going to get a proper ass whipping. And that's what they deserve. First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 12. It says, so this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein. Forward means, I say it's just wicked, but I just looked into it, and it means to have like a deceitfulness about you. You know, the word that comes up as a synonym is unscrupulous. Having your moral compass is off. Okay? Ultimately, you just being wicked. Let me read that again. First Maccabees 1 verse 13. Then certain of the people were so forward therein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. So they went to the king at that time. Is this is going into Antiochus Epiphanes, I believe. Let me see. Yep, this is talking about Antiochus Epiphanes the fourth. When you read up after the death of Alexander the Greek, going into that power struggle, he came out of the Seleucid Empire. He was a wicked man. And you know what? The duck, he reminds me of him. When I read about Antiochus Epiphanes, he's either going into the book of Maccabees and pulling the script right out, but he got a spirit like Antiochus Epiphanes on him. Okay, First Maccabees 1 verse 13. It says that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. And that's what y'all want to do. You know, when you learn about Maduro, as wicked as he was, whatever you want to call him, he still implemented no usury. You know, as wicked as you hate him so much, the nigga that you want is way worse than him. He has some resemblance of not putting any usury on you. That's a wonderful thing, believe me, man. Ask the people who go to school here in America if they wish they didn't have no fucking usury. Maybe they'll have some shit in their names if they had Maduro as the president. And don't think the so-called white man's not selling drugs on an international level, sending speed boats and shit that he's claiming other people. That's what he does. He accuses you of the shit that he's doing. He's drug trafficking. He's doing all that shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. You think he sends the military into your country so he can make you better? No. He's there to rob you and steal shit. You know, he wants the cocaine leaves. He wants to own that shit. That's a resource. You look at, I think drugs is like $80 billion a year. The whole drug trade. You think he wants that to stop when the nigga kidnaps nations of people and brings them over here? Get the hell out of here. Locks you up and then makes mad money off you being locked up. I see people beeping, man. Maybe the word's going out. Maybe they know what I'm doing up here. Hey, that's the spirit. See a lot of immigrants beeping their horns. You better repent or you're going to be in the same position that Maduro's in, calling himself a prisoner of war. That's ultimately what you all are. Now we're not a prisoner of war, we're a prisoner of hope. Like it tells us in Zechariah the 11th chapter. Or it might be the 9th chapter. Zechariah 9, but let me keep going. First Maccabees 1 verse 16. Now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion over 2 realms. Now that's pretty much it. So he gave y'all the license to do sin. That's what he's gonna do anyways. If he don't got enough time to establish what he's gonna establish. They're already talking about how it's pretty much impossible to extract the oil out of there because the roads aren't developed, number one. So you got to develop the roads. That takes a lot of time. You ain't got a lot of time for all of that. So what you're doing is it's vanity. It's all vanity. It's all to see the common white person. He thinks that's a good thing because he's a fucking idiot. He's a dumbass. You got 500 plus years of robbing, stealing, and killing, and you're broke. You're a dumbass nation. Your whole nation's stupid as hell. That's why you're going to learn, according to Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter, why we're so great. Why our laws are perfect and your laws lead to death. You think your laws are going to get better? Your country's done, man. Woo! And we're going to see it in the water Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua for keeping us alive until this day. And hopefully we get to stay alive tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. And the more we stay alive, we get to watch your ass fall. And we're going to rejoice the whole way. Shalom, King. Shalom. We're going to be rejoicing in that. Because that's what your ass get. That's what you get. You need to get punished. Your whole nation's going to get punished according to Obadiah 1 and 18. You should read your book, man, since this is your Lord. The Lord said he hates a nation called Edom, and they red. Who's red? You look them up yourself. He hates them. Okay? As a matter of fact, let me grab this precept. I don't want to sound like an asshole. I hate them with perfect hatred, KJV. This is what, hey, listen, man. This is what King David said. Psalms 139 and 22. I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. So listen, that's King David. He hated somebody too. Unlike you Christians, you ain't got the spirit of King David. And that's the spirit that the Lord liked. He called him someone after his own heart. How many bodies does King David got? I wonder. Even Moses killed an Egyptian. And the Lord chose him to bring the nation of Israel out of there. All that soft shit, that's just out the window with me. That's just out the window. It tells you in the book of Exodus 15 and 3 that the Lord is a man of war. You go to war with a general, you think he's soft, man? Get the hell out of here, man. This is life or death when you come up here. You come out here with that weak-ass spirit and your ass get put to death because you think everything's sweet. That's what you get. That's what you get. You should know you're making yourself a living sacrifice, but that don't mean you're supposed to be some weak-ass pushover either. All right? Turn the other cheek. Nah, man. You gotta fight, man. It is what it is. We might have to fight during Jacob's trouble. You might have to snap something. I saw this dude do this jujitsu move. I need to learn that shit. He took 2 bats. Yo, he broke 2 bats, man. He put it in like this weird submission and broke the bats. I was like, yo, that's just crazy, man. You don't want nobody putting you in some shit like that. That nigga snap your spine, man. Not to say that the Lord can't give you the ability to do all these things. He told David that in Psalms 144. Let me finish this. Psalms 133 and Psalms 139 and verse, I'll start at 19. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God, depart from me therefore, ye bloody men. Bloody men talk about you so-called white people. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. That's what you do. They take thy name in vain. They think they can call the Lord whatever the hell they want, man. It don't matter what you call them. That's what a lot of the world thinks, man. It tells you in the book of Acts, the 4th chapter. Let me grab that. Let me grab that while I'm on it. Salakia, I know I'm all over the place, but oh well. Oh well. Acts 4 verse 12, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. And why would the algorithm want to take away brothers saying the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai and replace it with Yahuwah and something else? Yahweh and I think it said Yahuwah, something like that. Those are not the names, man. That's for them reprobate people that think that, I mean, at least they kind of, at least you know the name ain't Jesus. At least you're a little bit, you're getting closer. The Lord could be dealing with somebody like that, but he ain't fully get him into this truth. And sometimes it's hard because the Lord's a stumbling block. You'll get into something and you'll fully believe like, nah, that's his name, man. I looked it up. You might have looked something up wrong because they got breakdowns for the name Yeshua too. They got breakdowns for the name Jehovah and all of that. So that's a stumbling block unto them. It's hard for them to get across that stumbling block. That's why it's the Spirit that reveals these things unto us. Bringing it back to the Paleo-Hebrew. If you ain't brought it back to the Paleo-Hebrew, then I don't know what to tell you. It makes clear as day that, you got to look at how the modern day Hebrew was brought together. How it's mixed with German and all these other languages that never existed in the time of Genesis. And when you get into Exodus, the 3rd chapter, there was no such thing as a damn German. Esau was even speaking Hebrew at one point. The Paleo-Hebrew, not that Hebrew that he speaks today, that he made up. So if your mind, your eye can't get, your spirit can't get across that, man, the Lord's not dealing with you. He might keep that stumbling block up for a certain amount of time, but then he'll remove it if he's dealing with you. Okay, anyways, where was I? Psalms 139 and verse 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? And that's what the so-called white man did. He rises up against the Lord by establishing a wicked-ass society. He's trying to establish the Tower of Babel through the Spirit all over again through his device. And the Lord's going to scatter the inhabitants thereof, like it tells you in Isaiah the 24th chapter. Let's grab that real quick, as a matter of fact. Isaiah 24 and 1. It says, behold the Lord, Isaiah 24 and 1, Yahweh maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof. So, by making this place empty, no one's going to inhabit this place. He's going to scatter the inhabitants thereof. And ain't no one coming here. There's not going to be any, he's going to destroy it with thermonuclear missiles, long story short. That's the end of this place. Okay? Isaiah 24 and 2, and it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. So everybody, rich, poor, you know, the taker of usury, whoever you are, you're going to be destroyed if you over here. Ain't no one going to be over here. It says, Isaiah 24 and 3, the land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for the Lord hath spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the haughty people of the earth do languish. And haughty means you arrogantly proud. Okay, and that's majority of you Americans, man. You are arrogantly proud, and you get that vibration. You get that from your leaders on down. But your leader, he don't look like he was before. He don't look like he's he waxing weaker and weaker, man. He don't even look at the camera anymore when he talks. He's looking straight at the prompt like Joe Biden. They might have to bring out the pen that he was talking about Joe Biden had, because he signed so many executive orders. He might think, you know what, that pen was a good idea. I might, yeah, bring the pen out here. I forgot the name of the pen. There's a pen, and it just automatically signs his name on paper. He tried to disannul everything that Biden wrote because he said he was tired. You know, they were just putting shit in front of him. He was just having the pen sign it. That's what's gonna happen to you. Because there's way more shit that needs to be done. We need the MOTB. We need all your executive. We need everything, man. Hurry up. Get to work. Amalek probably hitting them with all types of adrenochrome in the morning in his coffee. Come on, man. Old man should be sitting at home with his grandkids. He should be sitting down talking to Byron, man. Listen, Byron, man. Let me give you the rules of the game. Don't do this. Don't do that, man. You know, don't drink. Don't smoke. Read your Bible. Listen to the Hebrew Israelites, man. Read your Bible, man. That's what grandpa's supposed to be doing. Giving you words of wisdom. Not setting you up to be destroyed. It tells you in Ecclesiastes 12 and 1. Remember that creator in the days of thy youth. That's what you should be doing. Before the evil day comes. That evil day is coming. And a lot of y'all, you don't remember the creator. Let me get back into Psalms 139 and 21 again. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee, and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. So David knew he had enemies. It's so weird that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans don't understand you got enemies, man. It's the funniest thing. That's how weak you really, truly are. All these nations are gearing up for war because they got an enemy. And you think you don't. You're a fucking dumbass. That's why y'all died the way you do. Esau made a lot of money off your stupidity. He created a whole economy off your dumb asses. He's about to make a new economy in your countries today. As he's stealing your resources. Let me finish this. Psalms 139 and verse 23. It says, search me, O power, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. So he's telling the Lord how he hates his enemies. Okay? And he's saying, try me. Weigh him in the balance. Weigh me in the balance how much I hate my enemies, man. That's King David, man. I don't think you Christians pray like that. Y'all don't have that fervent type of prayer because you're weak. And you're not building up people so they can be prepared for this battle, which is spiritual. I'm not telling you to go grab a sword and go start food in your basement somewhere, man. No, trust in the Lord, man. That's all you got to do. The Lord's getting all the victory. He's the one that's going to win the battle. Okay? It says, Psalms 139 and 24, and see if there be any wicked way in me and lead me in the way of everlasting. So that's what we need. He's telling them, I hate my enemies. I hate those that rise up against thee. So there's a people to hate. You people don't understand that, man. It tells you in the book of Amos, the 5th chapter. Let me grab that. Amos 5 and verse 15. I'll start at 13. Amos 5 verse 13. Therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time. So the prudent are ultimately talking about the prophets, those who have the foresight of what's going to happen to this place. We're going to keep silent in that time because we know that this is going to be a famine of the word according to Amos the 8th chapter. You know, he's gonna make it hard to prophesy. He's gonna try to come down with. He's gonna try to shut this conversation down, man. This is gonna be the treasure. This is gonna be the gold, man. That y'all ain't gonna have. Y'all ain't gonna know the Bible. Okay? So you ain't gonna be able to stand stiffly for the name of the Lord in that time, man. We're not gonna be talking. We're not gonna be prophesying because you're probably gonna need an RFID microchip to be on the internet. As a matter of fact, that I forgot the CEO of some company was just saying how these governments need to start regulating the internet through algorithms. But clearly, they're already doing it because the brothers GMS just did a PSA saying how another brother put up a video. If he clicked on his phone, he would hear him because we all open up with the same introduction. We give praises to the Most High and the Son. And a lot of us, not all of us, give double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. But then the algorithm switched out the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai for Yahweh, I believe, or something. So that's manipulating your, that's violating your First Amendment right. And why is that happening? Because this devil's being exposed. And the most important thing is he's being exposed not just for all the crimes he's committing in the world. He don't give a fuck about that. That's why he went into Venezuela the way he did. He didn't say they had weapons of mass destruction. He lied a little bit, but it was kind of soft and weak. You know? He kept flirting with I might do a strike over there. And I think I might do this, and I don't know. Next thing you know, he kidnaps a man and he has him in court yesterday. Then it said his wife had bruises on her head, so that's Esau, man. That's Esau. So you women, you better read Isaiah the 32nd chapter. You women that are at ease, you think Esau, Esau, and I believe that a lot of these ICE agents and military personnel, they're gonna have the MOTV anyway. And we don't know exactly how that tech works, but if you have that, you're a fucking demon anyway. And who does he hire? Some redneck from fucking Maine somewhere that hates niggas for no reason. He just hate niggas because he been in the woods so long, shooting at cans with pictures of black faces on them. Target practice. He keeps telling himself that he hates niggas so much, but it's really he hates himself because his dick's small. He's really just a small man, that's all. And he hates it. He don't please his wife. His wife is, she ain't feeling good, man. She ain't feeling good, man. And deep down, he's just a homosexual. Homosexuals are violent. They're very violent towards themselves, their partners. That's what's wrong with Esau. He wants to die. He really wants to die, man. He don't want to. It's hard to be an Edomite. I understand. The whole world hates you. The sun hates you. The earth hates you. I get it. You want to take it out on your little brother. Right? But it's not going to work. It's not going to work, man. Esau, you're going to be destroyed. But the Lord's a merciful power, you know. I think about after Esau gets destroyed, what the Lord's going to do with those spirits, man. Who knows, man? He might do something. Esau might be. I don't know. The Bible doesn't say, but you know, who knows what the Lord's going to do with his spirit after that. We don't know. We speculate, but we don't know. Amos 5 verse 14, it says, seek good and not evil, that ye may live. And so the Lord Yahweh, the God of hosts, shall be with you as ye have spoken. Okay? So you got to seek good and hate evil, man. It's lucky. It says seek good and not evil. Okay? A lot of y'all seek evil by worshiping other gods. You know, this is why I like to bring out the fact that the scriptures talk about a false prophet. And it's not just one person. It's a system. And it's Esau's system. It's the wine that he is pouring out to y'all. His wine's going into his policies, his religions. Okay, that Roman Catholic Church, the Vatican. He established all these, majority of these false religions. He probably established all of them. He went into China. He conquered all these lands. You know, that's why all these nations are actually confederate against the nation of Israel. They don't want you to rule over them either. It tells you that in Psalms the 83rd chapter, who your enemies are. So the Lord he told you who your enemies are. Let's go over there after this. Amos 5 verse 15. It says, hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. It may be that the Lord God of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. And Joseph represents the northern kingdom. So you so-called Latinos and Native Americans. You know, we say so-called because you're Israelites. But you so indoctrinated that you want to be called Venezuelan and all this bullshit, man. Okay. Venezuelan don't exist in the Bible, man. A Native American, they don't exist in the Bible. Latinos, they don't exist. That's what Esau created in this world, man. He turned this place upside down. You're supposed to hate that. Only an enemy would do some shit like that. Got my whole nation calling themselves black. I hate that nigga for that. I don't love him because of that. Get the fuck out of here. I want the same thing that happened to us to happen to you. Now you might think, oh, that's what the Lord's gonna do. And I'm aligned with whatever the Lord's gonna do, and I'm with that, man. I'm not fighting up against the Lord. I ain't that stupid now. Okay? What you say? Black man, black man, black man. And that's an Edomite right there. It's probably a bot. There's a lot of a lot of these people on the internet, man, they're not even real. They're here to distract. They don't add anything to the conversation. They just subtract. They try to break down what's being said so they can take away the word that's being sown into the minds of the elect. But that's man versus versus robot. So that's why we don't listen to people who he don't even believe. He probably thinks the Lord's white. Somebody like that needs to die, man. And don't worry, because anyone that comes up against me, the Lord's he's gonna kill you. That's all that. I don't care. So talk all the shit you want, man. Talk all the shit you want, man. Because then the Lord's gonna kill your ass, man. You probably be dying anyways. You come on the channel to talk shit, man. That's not a good spirit. Okay? That's you being marked for death. It's one or the other. Let's grab this in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5. Someone like that, you can't teach anybody anything about that. He's one of them dudes, he'll come into class late and then not learn anything, distract the class, and then you gotta tell it, excuse me, son, go to the principal's office. You gotta, go sit in there. We'll send you work for you to do your work in the principal's office. The book of Ecclesiastes 5 verse 1, keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. So even when you go on a comment board, he consider not that he does evil. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before God, for God is in heaven and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few. So let thy words be few. You know? A lot of people, the word they get offended. Okay, because especially Edomites, man, they're very proud. So when they hear these words about them having to pay for their sins, they don't get it. We all got to pay for them, man. That's what happened in the nation of Israel. Let me grab this in the book of Hebrews. Chapter 4. And I'll start at 9. Hebrews 4 verse 9. There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of God, which are the Israelites. For he that is entered into his rest, he also have ceased from his own works as God did from his. Let us labor therefore to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. Exactly. So we got to labor to enter into that rest. Because this is not our rest. This is Esau's rest. This is Esau's kingdom. Our rest is when this kingdom gets destroyed. 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter, talks about Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's when we're going to be in our rest. That's when Esau got to go to work. That's when Esau got to be tributary to the nation of Israel and the rest of these heathens. And we're going to be sitting on thrones at that time. We're going to be feeling good. But we're laboring to get into that rest. This is not our rest, man. Hebrews 4 verse 12. It says, for the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So they hear this word, and it's like a sword that cuts them so deep that it pierces their soul. And this is how Esau's kingdom is really being destroyed. That's why he wants to stop this word from going out. It's like a fire that breaketh the rock in pieces. Jeremiah said, let me grab that. It's like a fire. It's like a fire that breaketh the rocks in pieces, KJV. Jeremiah 23 and 29. Oh, it gave me the wrong. I don't want that. Jeremiah 23. It gave me the wrong translation. Jeremiah 23 and verse 29. Is not my word like as a fire, saith the Lord Yahweh, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? And that's what it is. So he wants to stop that fire from going out. And it's not just that, it's just truth as a whole. Because he about to ramp it up. He just bombed, Israel just bombed Lebanon. So why you complaining about Venezuela? He's bombing Lebanon now. So why you all talk about Maduro? He's doing something completely different. That shit's over and done with, man. Maduro got to go through what he got to go through, and everybody else too. But meanwhile, there's more fight. He's bombing this and bombing that. He don't want the information to get back to the prophets so they can reveal it and merge it with the scriptures. Going back to Jeremiah, the 49th chapter, how the least of the flock's going to draw them out. You know, he don't want these precepts to go down because then you're going to know the plan. You're going to understand. You're like, oh, shit, we got to seek the Lord. And that's how we know he got a short time left. And these other nations, too. You all got a short time left. When Esau fall, you fall with them. Okay? Jeremiah 23 and verse 30. Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, saith the Lord, that steal my words, every one from his neighbor. Behold, I am against the prophets, saith the Lord, that use their tongues and say, he saith. Behold, I am against that prophecy, false dream, saith the Lord, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies and by their lightness. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them, therefore they shall not profit this people at all, saith the Lord. So there's prophets, as we're starting to see, a lot of apostates who are teaching for filthy lucre's sake. They had this word at one point, but then the world took it, it got taken away from them. That's going to the parable of the sower. The cares of this world has overthrown their faith. They want money, they want all of that shit, man. Fuck all of that, man. Esau's looking for candidates like that. He's watching, he's seeing who's weak, who really don't do videos. He's like, you know what, give him a shot. Get it, yeah, the one that he kind of weak. He's kind of scary. I think he's a little ashamed. Let me see if we can tempt him and turn him over to darkness. See if he got a couple followers. Let's get him to, let's see if I can get him to switch over. Work for us, teach lies. But the elect, they're not going to do that. It tells you in the book of Psalms. Actually, I forgot to grab this precept. Let me grab what I was talking about. Psalms 37. And, no, Psalms 34. Nope. What am I looking for? Yeah, Psalms 32, Slakia. Psalms 32 and 1. Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. So your transgression is your sins. Because transgression, sin is the transgression of the law, according to 1 John 3 and 4. And then it says whose sin is covered. So your sin is going to be covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai. Okay, now everybody's covered with the blood. Okay. Psalms 32 and verse 2. Blessed is the man unto whom the Lord imputeth not iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile. So guile goes into deceitfulness. So you got deceit inside in your heart, man. And that's why you teach the way you do. You're not doing it in truth and sincerity. You got a monetized channel. I don't get paid to do this, man. Actually, I do get paid to do this through the Spirit. The Lord increases me, gives me more comfort. I feel comforted when I go speak the word. So when my challenges throughout the day, I got the Lord on my mind first. So whatever comes my way, man, that's just nothing. I don't give a fuck what it is, man. I'm getting pulled over, my tire explode, my car, a house catch fire. It don't matter, man. Fuck all this shit. Because my eye is single on the kingdom. It tells you in the book of Matthew, the 6th chapter, that keep your eye. Let me grab it. Let me grab that. Matthew chapter 6. Matthew 6 and verse 33. It says, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So you gotta seek the kingdom first, man. You gotta be kingdom minded. Because if not, it's just death, man. You should always want to rule. Even though you don't have an army, you don't have a fighting chance in the battle, it seems like. But hey, man, we got our faith, man. We got the Lord. We got the best weapon, man. You know? That's a demon. So, what was I gonna say? You gotta keep your eye focused on the kingdom, man. Gotta keep your eye focused on the kingdom, man. You let anybody distract you, this world will distract you quickly. Damn, Eve, man. Demonic. It tells you in the book of 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter. 1 Corinthians 14 in verse 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for women to speak in the church. So a lot of women, y'all don't understand. Y'all go to church, y'all be doing all types of shit in the church. You be jumping up, down, rolling around on the ground. That's just wicked as hell. And that's what y'all do in these churches, man. That's just evil. That's a rebellious spirit. Okay? In a black woman, ultimately a spirit just jumps on people. It happens all the time. But it is what it is, man. A lot of y'all women, man, let me grab that in Isaiah 32, since I did bring it up. And grab it. You need to pay attention to what the men of the Lord are telling you, man. This ain't the time to be kind of lightheaded, man, light-minded. You gotta really know the Lord in this time and be obedient. You really do, man. You got the same way the men gotta do what they do to make their calling and election sure. You being obedient too is gonna make your calling and election sure. That don't mean you go out and teach, but that means you be obedient by learning in silence. The Lord is pleased with that. That's a commandment right there. Just being silent, because a lot of spirits are on you women, because you done slept with all these different types of men. This society got you thinking, you know, your role is that of a man. You want to be equal to a man and all of that. So you fighting that's already a battle within itself. The Lord's telling you to be obedient, and a lot of y'all don't want to listen. So I'm grabbing this precept, Isaiah 32, verse 5. No, Isaiah 32 in verse 9. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. And look at Maduro's wife. You were probably sitting lovely in Venezuela, and now she's locked up. And I'm sure she's not happy to be over here in America, man. I'm sure they didn't roll out the red carpet for us. Okay? I'm sure they showed their horns when they went and got her ass. Probably putting the hammer all in her face, bitch. Yeah, we got you now. Yeah, what you gonna do? You know how Esau is, man. He get excited when he stop pulling out his gun, man. He probably busted her upside that. Get on the ground. Boom! Clocked her over the head. He tried to run into a vault, couldn't get to it. Crazy, man. But at least you know that that's her enemy. So she's a lot smarter than the rest of you women out here, man. You know? Anyways, so you at ease, meaning you're not seeing the prophecies come to pass. You're not feeling that pressure. You don't see that your life is going to be turned upside down. The vintage shall fail. So the things that you believed in or trusted in, you got your food stamps back, a lot of you, and you know, if you're on that level. But even if you don't have food stamps, you're going to lose your job, according to Isaiah the 19th chapter. You know, if your mind is oh, I saw this woman online. She was from Chicago. She's saying we ain't gonna pay our taxes. Okay, you have fun doing that. The Lord told you to pay your taxes, man. What time is it? 15 minutes, okay. You gotta pay your taxes. You gotta be obedient to the Lord, man, to the best of your ability. I mean, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. What can you do? But you gotta try at least. The Lord be doing some amazing things, man. As a matter of fact, I got testimony. A couple days ago, a check just came in the mail. For no reason, man. I just had a check just come to the mail, man. I was like, what? Yo, man. It was only for $200, but still, I was like, shit. That happened to me multiple times. Multiple times, man. Checks, money I didn't even expect just comes out of nowhere. The Lord will just bless you for no reason. It's just $200, but that's $200 I didn't have to do anything for. You know, hey, I thank the Lord. Actually, matter of fact, I might even go get me some boots with that, man. I need some new boots. You know? But that's how the Lord will just bless you out of nowhere, man. You don't even know how he can bless you. Let me grab this. It says Isaiah 32 in verse 11. Tremble ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless one. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. So you're going to lament for the teats, meaning government assistance. Ain't going to be no police to help you. Ain't no one coming to save you, man. If you ain't got a man of the Lord, or if you ain't that elect lady, because some of you elect lady, you might be with a heathen. You might be with a heathen, man. Who knows? Who knows, man? But the Lord can still deliver you. You might put him to death and who knows, find you, have you be with a man of the Lord. He did that with King David's wife, Abigail. Put that nigga Nabal to death and gave his wife to King David. Nabal wasn't a man of the Lord, but King David was. But what she did was, if you read about it, I believe in 1 Samuel, the 25th chapter, she was, you know, that's a whole different story. I don't really want to get into it, but let me make sure that was the right. Yeah, it's in 1 Samuel 25. She came with gifts. She was obedient. Oh, man. Abigail, man. She saved her husband. She saved her husband, but let me see what happened in the ball. I forgot what happened to him. Let me just scroll down. This is David marries Abigail. I'm going to finish this on this. 1 Samuel 25 and 39. And when David heard that Nabal was dead, oh, okay, that passed it. I passed it. 1 Samuel 25 and 36. And Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he held a feast in his house, like the feast of a king, and Nabal's heart was merry within him, for he was very drunken. Wherefore she told him nothing, less or more, until the morning light. But it came to pass in the morning, when the wine was gone out of Nabal, and his wife had told him these things, that his heart died within him, and he became as a stone. He was partying, man. She went to go bring gifts to King David so he wouldn't destroy Nabal. And then she told him about it, and he died. Oh, my God, that's funny as hell. And when David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, blessed be the Lord Yahweh that have pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal and have kept his servant from evil. For the Lord have returned the wickedness of Nabal upon his own head. And David sent and communed with Abigail to take her to him to wife. So that could be your story. You might have to be with a man of the Lord. You might put that heathen to death. If you're an elect lady, I don't see why an elect man wouldn't want that. He gonna know. Some women just got a spirit about them. It don't even matter, but not all of them, man. A woman that yells in the middle of the road like that, I ain't talking to you. She think people She probably carried that whole mindset is evil, man. A lot of you black women, man. You gotta get your shit together, man. You really do. You don't look good out here, man. 1 Samuel 25:40. And when the servants of David were come to Abigail to Carmel, they spake unto her, saying, David sent us unto thee to take thee to him to wife. And she arose and bowed herself on her face to the earth and said, Behold, let thine handmaid be a servant to wash the feet of the servants of my Lord. And Abigail hasted and arose and rode upon an ass with 5 damsels of hers that went after her. And she went after the messengers of David and became his wife. David also took Ahinoam of Jezreel, and they were also both of them his wives. But Saul had given Michal, his daughter, David's wife, to Phalti, the son of Laish, which was of Galem. So that's a whole different story. That was another one of his wives that Saul gave over to another man, but he ended up coming and getting her too. Well, let me grab this in Isaiah 4, since I brought out Abigail. Isaiah 4:1, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So you're going to need a man of the Lord, man. He might have a couple of women. This is the house of David we're talking about, man. He's closing up the breaches thereof. All right? So, hey, we're all like miniature King Davids, man. You know, because if you're the house of David, your story is similar to his. You know, you were thought as nobody. The Lord poured the oil upon you. You a miniature king, man. You know, some people say it out of pride, thinking, oh yeah, I'm King David. It's not really like that. It's just that you're part of the house of David. That's just different. You ain't King David. You just part of the house of David. You know? That's what, when you say you part of the elect, that's what you're saying. You ain't saying you know, hopefully you understand what I'm saying, man, but it's the spirit, man. It's that spirit without guile. It's that same type of spirit that King David had. You know, you're gonna be those characteristics of his elect. You know, but they got that oil. As a matter of fact, what time is it? I gotta go. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bachakodash, Shalom, Abad Babal, and Kwam Yashabala. And Shalak Rayam to all the demons on the comment board, and Shalom to everyone that's, you know, that's showing love. Shalom.